Yeah, we're gonna do a show tomorrow, Brian and I, around like 1:45. It's gonna be like a big Halloween bash. But
That's cool.
yeah, no doubt. Hello, everybody. We're live. We're in living color. I am here with the legendary explorer of horror, the horror boy, Nate Murphy. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? Just got done watching a Netflix horror film, which was pretty decent, called Rattlesnake. I really thought it was a decent horror film.
You were telling me about it at work. Give me a little bit of the plot. Like I've actually not heard of that one. I don't have Netflix. I know I'm a caveman. I live in the Stone Ages. But yeah, tell me what was the plot, man?
Well, the plot is pretty much kind of similar to It Follows, and the movie kind of has a similar formula to It Follows. I mean, instead of it being more of an STD, it's more of this. So this lady's daughter gets bit by a rattlesnake, and miraculously somebody's there to save her life. And somebody comes into her room and talks to the mother and says that since her daughter's soul was spared, she now owes death a soul. And now she has till sunset to kill somebody and offer the soul to death or to this person to kind of balance it out. And the whole movie is kind of like a thriller, kind of figuring out if this woman has what it takes to kill somebody and her kind of doing with that. It's actually a really well done movie.
Sounds great. Sounds a little bit like The Ring, where she has a
Mm-hmm.
certain amount of time to
It's
pass it
just in
on.
the style of It Follows. It's like it's very atmospheric, very heavy on shots, and very slow pace build up. But it also is kind of like there's another movie that I seen that was just like it, but I can't remember right now. But if I remember, I'll touch on it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Rattlesnake, that is a horror boy recommendation.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, so the horror boy recommends Rattlesnake. I will definitely try to get to see it. I hope I can find it on other platform that's not Netflix because I don't have that one.
Hmm.
Um, I've been watching a stupid amount of stuff on Prime, dude. Like I've been watching so many fucking movies. It's sick. I've actually really skipped a lot of the classics. Like to be honest with you, the only Halloween film I watched in its entirety. Well, I watched two or three, two of them for this video. I watched the original Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's H2, and then
What?
Halloween 2018 because I had not revisited it in since I think it has to be the time I saw it in the theaters. So that was the only time I
Hmm.
had watched the film. So I went back and rewatched it. And yeah, so we're here. Ryan, this whole stream was Ryan's idea. I don't know if he fell asleep or what. I sent him the link and I sent him to him that he could come on if he wants. Yeah, so I'm really I feel bad. I feel he's gonna be pissed, but I mean, I set it all up. Sorry, I got home late from work, but yeah, we're gonna truck right on here, and where we left off was on a movie I actually don't have on me. I don't know where my copy of it is,
That was
but
a good stream, by the way. Really enjoyed it.
thank you. Yeah, we had a lot of people watch that one. I think we had like 6 likes and like 60, 70 views. So I was like, wow, like for someone with 100 some subscribers, is 60 views. That's not bad.
Right.
Yeah, it was a fun show to do. It was just as fun as our Texas Chainsaw show that we did. By the way, you guys check that one out too. That was a really fun show
Yeah.
too. That got a lot of views. My franchise videos seem to get more views than any. But yeah, so we left off around Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And I was giving some of my thoughts on it. I kind of talked on it, touched on a little bit. If you would like to give your thoughts, you're more than welcome. I actually have not watched your review yet, but I'm definitely going to. What are your thoughts though on The Curse of Michael Myers? I wish I had it to show up, but I don't.
Well, I think despite its problems, I still found it to be a decent film. I've ranted on in the past, and I've been really wishy-washy with the franchise because of most people's opinions on it. And I'm like, well, should I go with the crowd? Should I not? And really sitting down and watching it again, I know it sounds crazy saying this, but I find more atmosphere in it than, to me, some of the other movies in the series. I find more atmosphere in it. I find some great kills, a really intense Michael Myers. I thought George P. Wilbur is an underrated actor that plays Michael Myers, and I like the kills. I mean, it was really going for more of an intense Michael Myers with some really great death scenes, like the head explosion, which is my favorite death scene. When Michael Myers stabs people, he rips the knife out of him. I just thought it was just a very unique way they did Michael Myers, and obviously there is problems with it. Like I'm not a fan of the acting. To me, Paul Rudd in the movie is really rough, and so is the lead chick, as well as the kid Danny, I believe was his name. The Thorn stuff I thought was really, I've never been a fan of that plot line. It's just a plot that gets its own little following, but I've never really been a big fan of it. I've never seen the producer's cut before, but I know that the producer's cut touches more on the cult stuff, which maybe after I'm done reviewing the franchise, I'll review the producer's cut. I'll put that in the list with, like, Sleepaway Camp 4 with that review, and sort of do those, yeah, as a combo. Just their alternate cuts or unfinished movies or whatever. But um, yeah, I mean, Halloween 6, despite its problems, I still find it to be a decent movie. Nothing really spectacular, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, I am in the same boat. It's probably the last one of the series where I really do get a lot of enjoyment out of. I know it's weird to say. I know there are ones after it that people really prefer more, but I got to be honest. For me, this is like the last one that has the good atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really think that. I don't think either one of the first two Dimension, like H2O Resurrection, no atmosphere. The zombie films had an exploitation atmosphere. And then the newest movie, I guess from this one on, it has the best atmosphere, but I feel like it's just a weak film overall. We'll get there. But I don't know. I like this atmosphere. I like Haddonfield in this movie. I think the characters are cool. I think the Thorn Cult was cool, and it has abundance of problems. Like, I'm not trying to say it's a great movie. In a lot of ways, it's not a great movie. It's a guilty pleasure for me. But I will
Mm-hmm.
say overall, I do get enjoyment out of the film. I think Michael's dope in it. I think that the leads are fine. Like, I don't hate them or anything. They're definitely better than a lot of the people in Resurrection, and hell, even in the next movie, I don't think Michelle Williams. I know you're shit on Michelle Williams. I was like, dude, Michelle Williams stinks in that movie. Like, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Um, Jesus, like, you're right. Josh Hartnett and fucking Jamie Lee. That's about it with that fucking movie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool to see Paul Rudd in this movie. I wish they could have got Danielle back. If I could have rebooked to something here, I would have had Danielle Harris just be the final girl again. Like, I would have
Mm-hmm.
not brought in the mother son angle. I would have just had Danielle and her baby and Paul Rudd running from Michael.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they really needed to do. The producer's cut, I could fill you in. I won't spoil it if you don't want me to. Um, it's a lot less gory. It's a lot more complex, and the ending is completely different. And I will be honest, the ending is fucking shitty in that producer's cut.
Mm-hmm. I
Like,
heard about it. I heard about some
it's
details.
dude, it involves rocks to prevent Michael Myers from killing. I'm not even kidding you. That's what
Yeah.
happens. So I don't know. I found it kind of a weak ending. But I think the theatrical cut, it has its merits. I think it has a really fun finale. I think it's got a really good setup. I think it's got a really good atmosphere. And overall, it's one that I really like. I think it's probably the one, like, the last one from the original movies that I still hold up there in a high regard. I think 1 through 4 are the best, and I think 5 and 6, even though both of them have fucking problems out the ass, for some reason I rewatch them a lot, and for
Mm-hmm.
some reason I like the look and atmosphere and tone in those two movies better than any of the movies that followed it. I know no one will agree with Halloween 5, which is a piece of shit. I agree with you. But I do think for whatever reason it's more watchable than H2O, than a Resurrection, than either zombie film, and then the new film. I'd rather watch that. As bad as it is at times, it has a rewatchability to it. I think it's because of Haddonfield and just the look of the movie, though. That's just my opinion. But if you had to rate The Curse of Michael Myers out of 10, what would you rate it?
Um,
Hard task.
Maybe a 5 or maybe a 6. I'm gonna go with the 5.
Yeah, I'll probably go with a 6. Halloween 6 gets a 6. I would say the theatrical cut for me gets a 6. The producer's cut would probably get like a 5. They both have their pros and cons, but I would say the theatrical cuts, the producer's cuts ending is fucking terrible. I know there are people that like it better, but I don't know. I think the theatrical cut is the stronger cut of the movie. I always want some more gore in my
Yeah.
horror, so the producer's cut cutting that out, I thought that was really silly. If it kept that in there, maybe, but I don't know. I will take the ending of the theatrical cut as well. But yeah, so that's a 5 out of 10 from Nate, 6 out of 10 from moi, and Yeah, a movie probably of these, all of these is the last one I really go back and really rewatch.
Mm. Yeah, same here. I mean, it's really a movie that, like you said, I mean, it has problems, but overall, I don't think it really did too much to dissatisfy me in my watch. I mean, really, I also heard that the producer's cut had a different score. Is it better than the theatrical cut, or is it worse? Or
I mean, it's all right. It's not that memorable for me, so it's not. I mean, I don't think it's really make or break. It might be a little bit better, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's not a big enough difference with the
Mhm.
score or the acting. Like you get a little bit more Donald Pleasance. That's a
Yeah,
positive.
that's one of the biggest pluses I heard about that
I
movie.
like that. I like that about it. But I mean, I think the ending to your film is important too. And like the ending of the producer's cut involves Loomis. And it's fucking strange. Like it just doesn't. I actually would rather it be ambiguous than explain it because when they explained it, it just came off completely fucking flat to me. But
Yeah.
it's always nice to see Donald. This was the last Donald Pleasance appearance in the series. He had actually died post production of this movie. I don't even know if he saw the final film, but it's just I feel like all of the movies post him really miss him. Like I think like they
Mhm.
really lack
They try
acting.
ripping him off. They try making like co- like created versions of him, and it just doesn't really work. That character as an industry created character doesn't work for me. Unless it's Donald Pleasance, it doesn't work. To me.
100% because you can imitate his voice all you like to. At the end of the day, his presence, his the Pleasance presence, if you will,
Yes,
that
yes.
presence was just unstoppable. It was so perfect because he was, while you had the perfect protagonist antagonist with Laurie and Michael, and then Jamie and Michael in the sequels, Loomis was the constant. Loomis
Mhm.
was the constant to make sure that we always were afraid of Michael Myers. And I will say that no matter what, like I know there are people that really like the next movie and the new movie. Um, I don't feel the fear of Michael Myers as much without Sam Loomis. There's just something about like I love in the original where the sheriff's like you seem like you're really playing scared, and he's like I am, and he goes into the origin. Like I just love that he does not miss a
Mhm.
beat. I am fucking scared. You should be scared too, and like that character you can't replace him. You can try to recast him with fucking Malcolm McDowell. You could try to voice over him. You could try to add new doctors that, oh, I studied under Sam Loomis. I'm Dr. Sartain. It don't work. It does
No,
not work. Unless you are fucking Donald Pleasance reincarnated, it will never fucking work. And I don't care what
I
any of the
agree.
fucking marks say. Pleasance for life. May you rest in peace, sir.
Rest in
May you
peace,
rest,
Donald.
may you rest in peace. Um, but yeah, man, I dig this movie. I think it's probably the last one where I really fucking get into it. Here on out, these should be fun because a couple years later, 20 years after the original, Nate reviewed this one actually earlier on his channel. Check out Nate's content. Nate's channel's the best. I've been watching
Thank
his
you.
Halloween reviews lately, and the Texas, not Texas Chainsaw. I'm sorry, Friday 13th reviews he did. Whole retrospective on both series. He's almost done with the Halloweens. Um, this is Halloween H2O 20 years later. Halloween water, if you will. I gotta say, man, the first time I seen this movie, I was so let down. And like I know there's a lot of people that fucking love this movie, like beyond belief. And like I respect it. I think there's some good stuff in it, like you said in your review. But man, I don't know, other than the finale of this movie and a couple of nods to part two and the original and like the Janet Lee, Jamie Lee scene, I find this movie to be a very weak neo slasher. It's very much Halloween turned into a Scream film. And
Mm,
it's trying to pay homage to the original. And like I appreciate that. I think it's nice for that. And it does pay some homage to part two, which is I always appreciate that. The Mr. Sandman song is
yeah.
briefly in this. And Marion Chambers is also briefly in this in the beginning. But man, I have some problems with this movie. Chris Durant as Michael Myers stinks. The Mask is the worst it is in the entire series. I know people will tell you five. I beg to differ. I will take the mask in 5 over the fucking CGI mask that is in brief part of this movie. And the shitty mask where you could see the guy's eyes. You could see Michael Myers is like the whites around his eyes. That's
Yeah.
horrible. That's
Yeah.
horrible. You completely missed the fucking point. Like the Mask of Resurrection looks better than the
Yeah,
mask.
it does. It's sad. It really does.
The mask in this is fucking awful. I think most of the acting is awful. I don't really care for many of the characters. Like for example, like this is why you know this is a fucking Scream ripoff. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fucking figure that. This character, she's fucking doesn't do anything in it. She's fucking
Is that the bathroom chick?
no, it's the fucking chick. She gets the dumbwaiter hit on her leg, and Michael fucking kills her and hangs her.
I thought it was the other chick. I was
Like
like,
you said it best in the review. You were like, dude, all this couple does is eat, and I was just like,
that's all
yeah,
they do.
it's true. They have one of the kids is the fucking kid from Jumanji who plays Rob Williams' character as a kid, and I was like, dude, I'd rather see him get sucked into a board game than be killed by Michael Myers while trying to get his shit out of the sink, dude. Like I don't know, it's lame, man. I think it's a fucking lame film. Um, but I don't know. I maybe I've said too much, but and I know you've reviewed this tonight, so it's probably very repetitive for you. But what are your thoughts if you want to, I'm sorry, I feel bad. This is like the
No,
lowest
no, it's fine. It's fine. No, for real, H2O, I will give it this. The third act is amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis, great in the movie. Her and Josh Hartnett's scenes, great. I love the character chemistry between them. I like all that stuff. I like the little bits of gore that you get in there and some of the kills, not all of the kills, some of the kills.
Mhm.
The very ending. Always want to say something.
No. You guys just said,
Oh, I thought he was going. Um, but the ending I liked, the very ending, and the usage of the classic score. I really enjoyed that. Just overall, I thought that the very end of the film was solidly done. But the last 20 minutes of a movie being good doesn't make your entire film good. I think what it was a lot of fans didn't like the Thorn stuff. I mean, you had Halloween 5 and 6. That's why it's very similar to the new movie. It's like you had the Thorn stuff, people didn't like it. Oh, well, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. You had that awesome third act. It's a great movie. And it's like, to me, no, the first hour is nothing. Thin air. It's just nothing going on. It's just you gotta have, and also it just doesn't feel authentic. Nothing flows fluently for me in the movie. It all feels like it's a set or a studio movie that other movies have parodied in the and horror. They've parodied that feeling of unlegitimacy in the movie. And the dialogue, the way the movie looks, it just, to me, it's all turnoffs. And Michael Myers is like, what, 5'9" in this movie, and just a little old guy playing Michael Myers. Like, Chris Durant's a cool guy from the interviews, but to get him as the Michael Myers in this film, and the mask, the K and B mask, I mean, it was just too many problems for me to say I like the movie. And overall, I think it just is a really weak entry. I think it's better than sort of the sequels. I'll say it's better than like H2 or Halloween 5, just a little bit, but I can't really say that it's a great movie. It just has too much flack in it for me to say it's a good movie. And yeah, overall, just H2O to me is a very weak entry. It has a great third act, but so do a lot of horror films. The original Halloween is showing you how to do it right. You have a
Right.
great third act, but you have the first hour filled with some great stuff. It's just how you do it. I don't know. Just a very weak entry, and I'm not a fan of it.
I agree. I think okay. I do think if I can say anything that this film does right, it is the Laurie character. I
Mm.
think they tackled that perfectly. And like you said, the stuff with Josh Hartnett and I've given you 17 years and that's good stuff. I like that. It has its moments, but overall, I think the movie fails for me for two reasons. Reason number one, it's a neo slasher, and Halloween was never a fucking neo
Yeah.
slasher. It was made in the wrong period of time. Like, look at Halloween 6. It's more of a feeling Halloween film than this is. And I think people like a big reason, other than the bullshit in Resurrection, which is terrible. I think you are more exposed to why a neo slasher will not work in the Halloween environment with Resurrection, because that's a neo slasher. You've got the fucking kid from American Pie. You've got, they're all on the cover again. Here, I've got the fucking cover right
Webcam,
here.
music, and
MTV, the
pop
fucking internet.
culture.
It never was going to work with this fucking character, with not Buster Rhymes, with fucking Michael Myers. My own camera's fucking me up tonight. It's all fucking off and shit.
Maybe it's a
Um,
fan of Resurrection. It's like, no, he likes the movie.
it's disservice to this character, But yeah, I think it just does not work. It does not work overall. I think there's some decent stuff in it. I will say, and I'll explain why when we get there. I like it more than the 2018 film. I'll take it over the 2018 film any day, just because of the Laurie angle. I do think it does some things right, but all in all, I definitely think it's one of the weaker entries of the series. And I know that
Yeah.
people gush and love it, but I feel like those same people gushed and loved it now are burying it with the
Yeah, it's
new.
not it's lost its steam. I mean, it's like the 2018 film. It's lost its steam. There are people starting to realize that it's not as good as what it used to be or what it was first claimed to be. And with the Rob Zombie stuff of the 2018 film, like, oh, it's not a Rob Zombie movie. Well, with H2O, it's like, well, it's not a Thorn movie, so it's good, right? It's like, let's look at the movie here. It just, to me, like, what I want to ask the H2O fans is, before the third act, what is there salvageable from this film? Because you ain't got no suspense. You got a horrible music score. You got a horrible mask, horrible Michael Myers. People redubbing Loomis's voice. There's just too many problems for me, man.
Yeah, really no memorable kills. Just a
Yeah,
flat movie for me.
boring
Before
kills.
before the new 2018 film came out, this one was always one of my weaker movies in the franchise. Like, it's definitely towards the bottom. It still is, but definitely I would say if I had to rate it, I go about 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it, probably around a 5. It's a really, really low 5. Really, really low 5.
A low 5 for Halloween H2O. Movie that a lot of the fans like, but I'm gonna be honest, not one of my faves, not one I go to too much. But the next one is one that pretty much everyone unanimously hates, unanimously thinks is the worst one of the series, and I think it is probably the worst one of the series. But for some reason, I can rewatch this one even more so than like H2O. I'll be honest, I've probably seen this more, just because it's so fucking stupid, and it is none other than Halloween Resurrection. Nate's next review, Nate's next rant, if you will,
Yeah.
because he ain't gonna fucking not be ranting on it. I gotta say, when it comes to really fucking bad movies, this is right up there. This is exactly what I was saying before. This is MTV version of Halloween, and man, I don't know, it just does not work for me. Busta Rhymes is great. He's fucking hilarious in it, and I know people hate him. And granted, I agree, the character should have died. Like, he should not have lived and kicked Michael Myers' ass and Kung Fu and Trick or Treat Motherfucker and Happy fucking Halloween. And I mean, that shit's bad. But I don't know, man. Like, other than maybe the final girl, I actually like. I'm trying to fucking figure out this camera here tonight. I don't know. I'm just gonna do it this way. This girl, I think she was good. I don't know how good. My fucking camera's all off. I thought the lead girl was good, but then again, Nate, you get another character that fucking likes to cook.
Yeah, all he does is talk about food the whole fucking movie. I'm like, you gotta write more than this.
He's like, oh man, these spices can blind somebody if you use them correctly. I'm like, what the fuck spices are you talking about? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh,
Like,
I go to chef school. Fuck
I'm gonna
you,
make
dude.
sushi out of you, Mikey.
Yeah, he's like, come on, Mike. I'm just like, really, dude? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't know. That character was weird. You have the kid from American Pie in this fucking movie. Basically being a kid from American Pie, he's just a horny kid. He's like, oh, you're gonna show me your boobs, and she's just like, oh yeah, and then she's like, not really, and I'm just like, this is some bullshit. Like, I mean, whatever. I would have enjoyed some fucking boobs, blood, mayhem, something like that. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like overall, I think this one, like it's just a cheesy little film. I would love for you to explain to me how the hell did Rick Rosenthal go from Halloween 2 to this though? You know?
Yeah, that confuses me so much. I don't even know, man. And the thing is, I actually, Halloween 2 is my second favorite of the series. It's my favorite sequel of the series. It just really, you look at all the great things in that movie, they just really weren't redone and Resurrection. Like everybody else says, I mean, you have the really awful MTV look to it, and Halloween 2 didn't have that look to it. It had a really awesome October look. So I don't know, man. I think it was they were like, well, nobody wants to make Resurrection, so let's go back and get Rick Rosenthal. He wants to make it, so let's go get him. I don't know what the story was. I really don't.
And we have a bunch of comments from some guy, Fast7830. I don't know. What? Brazilian my I love Brazil. Very cool to hear. Very, very cool to hear.
Cheers to Brazil.
Cheers to Brazil. Fucking goal Brazil. Okay. Halloween Resurrection Brazil. Yeah, man. Like Fortnite. Do I like Fortnite? Oh gosh.
No,
we're
I don't.
talking about Halloween right here, buddy. I don't want to talk about Fortnite.
No Fortnite, please.
No Fortnite, sir. But thanks for watching, Fast7830. I appreciate it. Yeah, but man, I just feel like this movie doesn't work. Like it was just a weird attempt to take the Halloween franchise. It's the Halloween movie that feels the most like a Scream movie, and it even more so than an H2O, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's a worser with that tone because you have just these idiotic characters, man. Like computer hackers. You have a dead character who's like typing on his computer, and the dialogue is just so cheesy. It's just, come on, man, aren't you gonna date her? He's like, I'm working on it. Come on, man. Like, it's just annoying, man. And to me, the lead chick was good acting wise. My only problem was the script. Some of her lines were just, this is for all of them, for everyone. And just like, that was a little rough. Even Busta Rhymes has a really rough speech at the end of the movie, which is like, ugh, it's like really bad to listen.
Michael, what does he say? He says Michael Myers is a pussy in baggy overalls.
Will never ever die. I'm just like, dude, this is bad.
What is the line? I need to find that fucking line, like where he says Michael Myers is something in baggy overalls.
Horrible dialogue, man. Horrible.
I'm looking it up right now.
Like the thing is though, when I rewatched Resurrection this year, I swear I had so much fun. I was just bashing it. Literally, as I was watching, like, well, that girl's from another horror film. That girl's from another horror film. This guy is from Freddy vs. Jason, the stoner guy. Oh, this guy is from. So that was really fun. But there was one guy in there from Final Destination 1, which is a pretty good movie. But yeah, dude, and they have like this thing in the movie that's really irritating to me that nobody ever talks about. But was it possible back in like 2001 or 2-ish to like not only text people through a keyboard on a live stream on a computer and then receive the text message, but he also changes the font of the text message, and she gets like 20 text messages like that. Now, when texting was first invented, you didn't get text messages like that. You had to wait a couple of days to get even a couple text messages.
It's true, yeah. The reception would get lost for a few days, so it wouldn't go through for a while. So that he's 100% right. Like I remember, I would get text be like, "Want to hang out?" and I'd get it 3 days after it was sent, and I would just be like, "It's fucking 3:00 in the morning."
And that was in 2000. That was not even 2002. We're talking about the first beginning of the internet and live streaming and
yes, it's before this,
And he's over here texting her on a computer while watching a stream, and he's changing the font of his text, and the girl's getting just generic looking text that just pop up on her phone. No text back button, no send button. I'm like, this is just awful, bro. Fucking awful.
Dude, awful. I agree. And like, what did he have? The greatest fucking computer of all time in 2001. Right. And he's like, he's behind you. And I'm just like, dude, the only thing that could beat Michael Myers is the 21st century and fucking Busta Rhymes. Like, it's so fucking weird, dude. Like, it's a fucking mess, but, like, at the same time, it's entertaining enough. Like, you're right. Like, it's so bad it's entertaining. Like, it isn't unwatchable. It's not like fucking Jason X for me, where I'm just like, I fucking can't get through this. Like,
Yeah.
I just, or the Elm Street remake, where I fucking would
Oh,
rather, do anything than watch the Elm Street remake. Like,
that
it's just,
movie hurts my soul, man. That's a
dude,
bad
my
remake.
soul too, dude. But Freddie took my soul in that movie, and like I still haven't gotten it back since the first time I fucking seen that fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was fucking bad, man. That's bottom of the barrel. But this, man, I'll be honest, I get some entertainment out of it. Over, like, if I had to really critique it, it's not a good film. Like, uh, I can't even think. Are there any good kills in this movie? Like, not really.
Yeah. They're
It's a
whatever.
huge step down for Rick Rosenthal from Halloween 2.
Yeah.
It does not feel anything like a Halloween film. Everybody and their mother just hates the cast and the direction they took the series. The one thing I will say, like, probably my biggest positive of this movie is I really like the fact that it's the only Halloween movie that does not focus upon him killing the bloodline. Like, after the first 10 minutes, he kills Jamie Lee. And then it's really, I think, was this the tagline was evil finds its way home. So the answer to everyone's question, what will Michael do if he did kill her? He went home. And coincidentally enough, these fucking dumbass kids were just chilling in his house. So you wonder, if they weren't in his fucking house, would Michael have ever killed again? Would it have ever, because we never got a sequel to this particular installment.
Just kind of
That's
dead water.
exactly, yeah. Like, I was act kind of like that. It's not a Michael Bloodline movie. I think it's kind of unique for that, you know, actuality. And killing off Jamie Lee in the first few minutes surprised me. I was like, shit. But also the H2O taking that back, that Michael was
Oh,
an
Jesus.
EMT. Holy shit, dude! Like, this movie, like, it deserves all the hate it gets. It really does. But I will say that it is entertainingly bad. I
It's
will.
my least favorite. I don't think it's. I just think that rewatching it again, it was really fun just to tear it apart. But just as a film and the series, and especially going out the ending of H2O, just it shows you how studios are always going to be greedy with this franchise. I mean, we had Halloween 5. We had this movie. We're going to have Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. It's just like, it's never going to end, man. It's
Yeah,
just,
this one screams of the cash grab, like worse than any of them, except the two that were coming next. This one screams fucking, we
yeah.
have to make another one to make money. And thankfully, this movie fucking was just terrible, and
Tanked.
we
And
never.
everybody hated it, man. What would you think? What you think about that ending where Michael Myers goes "Roar" into the camera?
Dude, I don't fucking.
Dude.
I can't get over the scene where Busta Rhymes is like being interviewed by the news people, and he just shits on the legacy of Michael Myers. He's
Yeah.
like, I looked up the lines here. I can't find the line. He says something along the lines of, he's like, Michael Myers is a mama's boy in baggy overall. It's something like that, and it's just fucking terrible. He's like, I hope he's extra fucking crispy. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I remember the first time I was just like,
Yeah.
I
He
don't do
ripped
drugs.
him
Like,
apart.
this is really happening. Like,
He
holy
like
shit.
touches Michael Myers' mask. And Michael Myers literally walks around and walks away.
Oh my God, yeah, he's in
What kind
disguise.
of dodge?
Dude, I will say, I think the look of Michael in this film is a little bit better than the previous, and I think the Michael Myers actor is a little bit better. I think
And the
Brad
music.
Lorre is a little
I
bit
like the
better.
music a little better too.
Yeah, it's weird. They're honest to God. It's for me, like, as a movie, it's right there with H2O. I think it's more entertaining, but it's probably not as good a film, if that makes any sense. I don't know. If I had to rate this one as an entertainment waste of time movie, I would say it's about a 4 or 5 out of 10. But overall, it's probably the worst one. I'm going to come in at about a 3 out of 10 on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. It's just really, I really don't like Resurrection. I mean, Busta Rhymes and Michael Myers and maybe the lead chick are the only things I care about the movie. I liked the way the mask looks. I even think the actor did a great job as Michael Myers. He was really intense. That's what I think. In this movie, it's much more of an angry, intense Michael Myers, and I really enjoy that. But to me, Busta Rhymes is just too fun to hate. I'm like the only fan of him out there. He's just fucking hilarious, and I just love his character. He's the only character and actor in this movie that gave a shit. Besides maybe the lead. I mean, the lead did
Watching the kung fu movies.
Dude, when I was watching this movie a couple nights ago, I sent John a clip of me dying.
He did.
I was dying, guys. It was literally Busta Rhymes is. I'm a fan. If he ever sees my Resurrection review, he'll get his credit. I think he's a great piece in that movie. Awesome actor in that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. He's entertaining, but I think he definitely just should have died. Had he had a death scene, I think it would have been really cool. Also, they should have showed the Tyra Banks kill. That should not have been a deleted scene because Tyra Banks is just so worthless in this movie. She's just making a latte and like dancing and shit while she's making a latte. Like, I don't know. This movie's a mess. So yeah, 3 out of 10 for me. 2 out of 10 for the Horror Boy. So it gets a 5 combined. So that tells you how bad it is. But this goes on to, I would say, the most controversial probably of the series. I know a lot of people probably say part 3, but I would say that this one is even more controversial because I've heard every end of the spectrum on this movie. I've heard people say it's fucking the worst movie of all time. I've heard people say it's fucking great remake. I've heard it all. I really have. Everybody and their mother has an opinion on this movie, whether you love it, hate it, or not. Everyone seems to always just give their fucking thoughts on it. And it is Rob Zombie's 2007 remake of John Carpenter's Halloween from 2007. I don't have this copy on me. I actually lent this. Oh, cool. Nate's got it. That's the theatrical cut. I believe I have the unrated version, which I agree with Nate. Yep, that's the exact version I have, not without the Blockbuster stuff on it.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
Yeah, dude, I miss Blockbuster too. Yeah, man, I'll ask you first. I'll ask you to go into your thoughts. I've given my thoughts on this movie quite a bit. So, what are your thoughts on Rob Zombie's reimagining of John Carpenter's classic?
Well, first of all, Rob Zombie as a filmmaker, I can say I like his films to a degree. I love House Thousand Corpses. That's my favorite Rob Zombie movie. I love Devil's Rejects. I haven't seen the other movies he's made, like Lords of Salem, 31.
Lords of Salem's great.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I actually am pretty interested in seeing that. And he's got a new movie out called 3 from Hell, which I haven't seen. But John, you have it. I think you said you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I got the poster over here. Yeah, I really like 3 from Hell. I know a lot of people were let down by it, but I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I just don't think his style fits the Halloween formula because I feel like he just totally threw everything out the window. And when you do that and you make such a cliche character, just in any instance, humanizing Michael Myers and explaining his origin, explaining why he's crazy, it never works. And it never will work because it's just a character you can't do that with. You cannot do that with the Shape. The Shape is beyond human. You know, he is a dark force, a dark matter. You cannot explain it. It's just evil. And even though I don't hate the theatrical cut, I think it's an okay remake. I just think there's problems with it. The cast, I don't like how he made the cast pretty much white trash and just making them cuss every single piece of dialogue to the point to where it just became ridiculous. Nobody speaks like that. Nobody goes up to their fucking mom and goes, oh yeah, how did you flirt with that guy? I'm just like, dude, there's no fucking way that would happen, man. And then, you know, he makes Michael Myers this kid, and it's Dade Fuck, which is his name. Is Dade Fuck.
Dade Fark.
Dade Fark. Pretty much just fuck.
Dade Fuck. Yeah, that's his name.
But I didn't think he didn't seem like Michael Myers. The way he acted, it's just the direction of Laurie. Laurie is not what she is in this movie. And Rob Zombie, this has been talked about plenty of times where he says, Well, why make remakes of films that are classics? You're just gonna ruin the and you're gonna make yourself look like an asshole. But then he goes out and he makes this. And he says, well, remakes are decent, they can be done. And then he says, well, I don't want to explain the origin of Michael Myers. I don't want to explain why he's crazy. Then he does it in his movie. So I really don't know what he was going for. I would much rather have it been skip the prequel stuff because I hate everything in the prequel stuff. Making his mom a stripper, giving him every single bit of generic building of a slasher or a killer in a horror film. He kills animals. His family is horrible. His home life is just became generic, man. It became textbook. And Loomis, yeah, Malcolm McDowell, big fan of him. Loomis in this movie just felt like he was reading off a script. He didn't feel legit, you know. And he's even fucking worse in this movie. We'll get to this second. This one,
That fucking character does nothing in that fucking movie.
this movie I fucking hate. But the
It's bad.
the first one, the theatrical cut, I think is an okay movie for a time waster. Michael Myers, Tyler Mane, kicking ass. He's 7 foot tall. He's like bulking Michael Myers, cutting people to pieces. I enjoyed that. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed it as a fun, not really fun, but just a decent slasher film. Now, the version I don't like is the unrated cut because, first of all, it's even more footage. You have a rape scene. Why the fuck you would have a rape scene in a Halloween movie? I have no fucking clue. But there's a rape scene in here. You got even more slow stuff, which makes it boring. And I'm also not a fan of the editing in these movies, man. He just has the camera all up on somebody's face and it's shaking, it's moving. And then during the chase scenes, it's shaking all over the place. Then it just, to me, I'm not a fan of the editing of the movies. And this cut I hate because it has a rape scene in there, which is like just totally does not need to be in a Halloween film, which is totally unnecessary. Then you have it being more boring, more slow. Just not a fan of this cut. But yeah, the Rob Zombie Halloween, I don't utterly hate the movie theatrical cut. I'm just gonna go by that. I don't hate it, but I'm not a fan of it. I know it gets a lot of fans. I'm not a fan of that style. I'm not a fan of that way of making the movie. I know it's different, but it still ripped off a lot of stuff from the original movie. That's the thing. It's like being stuck in limbo. You're trying to do your own thing, but you're like ripping off the original movie. Then your next movie, you go right off the rails with that. I don't know. I'm not a fan of not a big fan of the first movie, but it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I feel you completely. It's miles better than the second one. Like the second one, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to fix my fucking camera here. The second one is a fucking piece of shit. Like in my opinion. This first one though, I think it definitely has some decent stuff. Um, I will say the one thing that we've always said is that Rob Zombie was not the right choice. And like I like the guy, I like Rob Zombie. I thought here, let me sit up here. I'm like laying down in my fucking room here. The problem with this movie overall is that Rob Zombie did not spell Halloween. He much more would have fit a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of fucking remake. I think that
Yeah.
would have been the better option for him. And I think the people that did Inside probably should have done this remake. Had you done that in a parallel universe, I would have loved to have seen how those two fucking movies would have came out because I think you would have had a better Texas Chainsaw remake and I think you would have had a better Halloween remake. That's just my theory. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. I could be absolutely bugging here. I could be, just speculating, which I am. I am speculating. Um, but there are some things I like in this movie. I think Michael is brutal in it. I think that overall, I actually don't mind the backstory, like the stuff where he's a child. I know it's silly because you take away what made the character iconic and you take away the mystique of the character. I think he completely missed the point. But at the same time, I like that he didn't just do the same thing. I like that he tried to do something different. And like while what was different wasn't the greatest, I don't think it was the worst either. It's an exploitation film. It's an exploitation version of Halloween. And like to me, Halloween never had to be exploitation. Halloween just had to be Halloween. And overall, I think it has, like I said, some positives. I think, you know, some of the kills are decent. I think some of the acting actually is pretty bad. Like, I think the
Mm,
actress who plays Linda is so bad. And like the three girls in this compared to the three girls in the original, they had no fucking chemistry.
mm-mm.
Like, you would have thought they met that day. Just
Yeah,
zero chemistry. Not a fun time. I mean, I like Brad Dourif, I like Danielle Harris, but that's about it with the acting. I think
yeah,
Scout Taylor, straight out of Compton, is fucking terrible.
yeah. I don't.
Uh,
She's horrible in this movie, and she's worse in Halloween too.
I
It's
would
like,
say she's one of the worst final girls of the series. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it's like you really do have problems in this movie, but it's like escalated in the next movie. It's like really
you
brought
see
even
it's
more
worse in the
to light.
following movie.
Yeah,
It's so true. It gets so much worse with the following
it
movie.
does. It really does, man. But yeah, Scout Taylor just total miscast, total misuse of the character.
Total miscast. She would have been a much better Linda because she's fucking annoying.
Yeah,
You
it's like,
know?
dude, Lori is not. There's a reason why Lori is the way she is in the original Halloween. It was meant to be like that. It wasn't just some accident. And then Lori, I know that Rob Zombie's like, well, we didn't want to make Lori shy like that anymore. It's not realistic. So you make her this over the top character that like cusses out her parents, and every other word she says fuck. It's like,
Yeah, and
so
she
that's
pretends to
realistic.
finger a bagel.
Yeah, and finger a bagel. It's just like you. I don't know, man. I
It
really.
it's yeah, it's not the greatest. I will say I do like another thing I like about it. I like that they keep the brother sister angle in there.
I
I
do too.
personally like that. I know everybody and their mother always is just like, you don't get it. It's scarier the other way. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that shit. Like, I don't care which way it's scarier. I care which way it's better. I think it's better
Yeah,
when brother and
I don't
sister.
think it's because I think how many slashers out there do that? Oh, there's no motive. It's just random slashing. It's like to me, it's just more generic than making it more of a bloodline type movie. It just to me works better that way.
Yeah, 100%. I agree 100%. I think the Bloodline is just cooler. It's the only franchise where Bloodline really works. Hellraiser does not work with the
No.
fucking Friday 13th when 9 movies. Now he has
Oh,
a sister. Fucking Freddy Krueger, 6 movies. He had a daughter. Like what? Like what are you talking about? Like it just escalated to a point where it was just like ridiculous. Whereas Halloween 2, they went to the bloodline shit already. So I like the bloodline shit. I know people think I'm crazy, but I will forever like
I
that.
love it too. I think it's iconic.
It is, yeah. It's the brother and sister, and the song "I Wish I Had You All Alone." I like that. I think that's. I don't know. I always see them as brother and sister, and the reason he wants to kill her ass is because she can stop the rage, just like Loomis says in Part 5. I always thought that was really cool. That
Yeah.
the reason he wants to keep killing on forever, and those two are the ones that can stop him. I just always thought it was a cool protagonist antagonist storyline, and for whatever reason that's been scrapped now. So
And
uh,
stomped on and then spat on and just thrown in the trash like it's
has it
nothing.
been curb stomped as many times as the Fiend was?
You could say so. You replace Seth's face with the studio. That's pretty much what they're doing with that.
Oh, dude, that was fucking
Dude, did you
and
see it? Did you see the match?
yeah, I did.
Oh, dude, worst match like in the past 5 years. Been watching wrestling, man. Like fucking horrible.
So fucking horrendously bad, dude. So bad.
And they can wrestle. They can put on a good match. They're both talented wrestlers. And
They
you
should
do
just have Bray win the fucking title. What was the
exactly
point?
put us out of our misery, not let us watch this shit, and have AEW chance at the end of your show. Like, really, man?
Horrible, dude. 110% horrible. Like, there's not one fucking redeeming quality in that for me. I thought that was fucking the bottom of the barrel. But
Yeah, and Crown Jewel's coming up. You know who's becoming, or you know who's going to go in the World Championship match? Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez, yeah, a fat, out of shape Cain Velasquez is gonna be the fucking.
He walked in the company. Here's a title shot, sir. It's like, what the fuck, man?
It's so bad, dude. It's so fucking bad. Their company stinks. But overall with this movie though, I think they had some memorable characters. I like the memorable character like Joe Grizzly. I got a Taco Supreme. It's talking back to me. Like
Great.
it does have some classic Rob Zombie stuff in there where it's funny characters, fun kills, memorable dialogue, even though it is unnecessarily over the top with the cursing. But for all the good stuff, I think you have a lot of bad stuff too. This is another movie where I'll probably come in around. I'd probably go 5.5 out of 10. I think I like this one a little bit more than the average. It's like maybe because of the rewatchability. I rewatch this one from time to time, and I definitely like I've seen all the versions and stuff like that. I think overall it has its moments, but as a film, kind of average middle of the road for me. 5.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I go 5. It's not a horrendously bad movie, but it's just a movie that I think, like you said, just Rob Zombie had no reason to be making a Michael or a Halloween movie, and it's just doesn't. The two things don't clash. They just don't meet very well to me. You're combining two worlds together that just do not fit to me.
Yeah, they collide. They don't come together. It just didn't work.
Mm.
It was exploitation meets atmosphere. It was suspense atmosphere trying to meet exploitation, which it just didn't work. It would have been great with Texas Chainsaw. I think he would have killed that remake,
Oh
but
yeah.
he had the other one. So it is what it is. In a fucking other dimension, I would love to have seen Rob Zombie's Texas
Mm.
Chainsaw Massacre because I think that would have been an incredible movie. But is what it is. I think it's 5.5 out of 10, and this will have us move on to a movie that is a true piece of shit. I watched it the other day to confirm. This was Ryan asked me, to talk about these movies, and Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Holy shit, man! I'll start with the few positives I have. I love the tackling of the post traumatic stress. I think that was really well done and how it's hard to move on. And Danielle Harris and Laurie and Sarah Brackett all living together. Loved that shit. Thought that was really, really well done. And Michael's very brutal in it. That's my two positives for the movie. I think other than that, this is a fucking piece of shit film. Uh, I don't even know where to go, dude. You can take it from here because I don't know what to say. It's just a mess, dude. White Horse.
But John, it's different.
Oh, it's different. Yeah, it's different. It's automatically great. Grant, I will say that I appreciate that he tried to make it his own. I appreciate that he didn't just remake Halloween 2 in the hospital because
Yeah.
that would have been fucking terrible. But again, this movie has flashes of that movie. Like the opening is very similar to the original Halloween 2. Like the first 30 minutes of this movie is a more brutal remake of Halloween 2, and then it's like an hour of the post traumatic stress and therapy and Angel Myers and whew, a lot of bad shit.
Yeah, man. This movie, I think, is dog shit. I mean, it's just I I can appreciate this that it was going for a totally different, totally off the wall, brand new concept for Michael Myers. I can appreciate that. And believe it or not, there are things in this movie that I do enjoy. I enjoy the soundtrack. I enjoy the way that Michael Myers, shockingly enough, looks. I think the hobo look is very unique and different. I don't hate it as much as everybody else does. I don't love it, but I don't think it's horrible. I think it's an interesting new look for Michael Myers. Very interesting to say the least.
The hobo attire.
Yeah. I thought it was a interesting piece. Interesting. He's brutal in the movie. Michael Myers just, stabs people repeatedly, curb stomping people. Just really, really brutal Michael Myers. And Tyler Mane does a great job playing Michael Myers once again. But, dude, and I'll be honest, the first 20 minutes of the movie I thought were the best because you have it ripping off Halloween 2. But to me, it felt more atmospheric than the rest of the movie does. I liked the way that it was filmed. Just to me, it seemed like it was leading up to be a decent remake of that movie. And then it changes to some horrible ass shit. You have Michael Myers seeing white horses for some reason. I don't know why. He didn't see white horses in the first movie, but he's seeing it in this movie. I don't know why. I don't know how it's possible, but he is. Malcolm McDowell is like total 180 in this movie. He made Loomis, one of the best horror characters of all time, into a complete asshole. And I just don't like that, man. You do not make Loomis an asshole like that. It's just a character that should be handled a certain way. And even though he wasn't the greatest in the first movie as Loomis, you still make it 1,000 times worse in this movie because he makes it seem like it's all his fault. And that's the thing in the original movie was he was trying to make it seem like it wasn't all his fault. But in this movie, you're like, yeah, this guy is responsible for all of this. I mean, this guy is just the complete. He's egotistical, and it's not Loomis, man. And then you have
Awful.
yeah, you have some bad supporting actresses. I mean, they really are just annoying. And you make Lori just, in my opinion, more annoying. She's just crying and whining to the entire film. That's the whole movie with Lori
And
crying and
she's such a bitch. Like she's
yeah,
so ungratefully mean to Danielle Harris. She's just like, you don't get it. And she's like, I almost got murdered too, you fucking bitch. Like,
yeah,
what are you talking about? Like, I don't get that. She's right. Fucking Danielle Harris also survived the night. And like they took you in, they treat you to dinner every night, they give you a bed to sleep in. They treat you like gold, and you fucking leave that house to go party with your shithole friends after you learn that your name is Angel? What the fuck? Like, there's no sympathy for the Lori character. Like, I
mm-mm.
get the PTSD. I think it's well done. Like, it's a good look at it, but the character's unlikable. That's the problem. Like, even in the next movie, I think the PTSD it isn't tackled as well as it is in H2O, or even in this movie. However, the character is more likable. The Lori character is more likable in the next movie than in this movie. It makes Loomis unlikable. It makes Lori unlikable. It makes everybody unlikable. Where it's and you can't sympathize at all or get behind anybody. And when you can't do that, man, your movie goes down the
Yeah,
drain. I don't really like this movie at
yeah.
all. I think it's a fucking mess.
It really is, man. It's the only thing that's got going for is some good looking special effects, some decent kills, and a couple other things. But overall, it's like just stupid ideas, man. You have weird music video moments where it's like creature pumpkin things and flashes of Lori having these weird flashes of demons and monsters. It's just like, what the fuck is this shit? And it's like literally, if Rob Zombie made a music video and he used the footage in this movie, it would fit. It looks like a music video of,
It
and
does.
then
It really
also
does.
he kind of made Michael Myers look like him with the hair and the way it's just done. It's like he made Michael Myers in his own image, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I remember I was watching this movie with somebody. They're like, that Rob Zombie? I'm like, no, it's Michael Myers.
Tyler Mane or Rob Zombie? Your choice.
Yeah, it's whatever you want it to be, man. It's his universe.
It's
Maybe
Rob Zombie on fucking stilts.
they're like, I didn't know Rob Zombie was that tall. I'm like, no, it's not Rob Zombie. That's why. But it's his world. Maybe it is Rob Zombie. I don't know. But
Yeah, it's a mess.
a lot of bad stuff. Has some decent things. Like I like when Beckett, or not Beckett, is that his name? Beckett, whatever.
Bracket.
Brackett. He finds Annie, and that's a really good moment. I really like that. I like at the end of the movie where Michael gets confronted by Loomis, and he just kind of says, it made Michael Myers speak, but I thought it was a good moment where it's like, I don't know, just the way that it was shot. But I don't like the idea of Michael Myers talking and saying, die. It just really doesn't fit.
Yeah, he broke all the rules in that finale, man. Like, it's just such a poor fucking finale.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I just can't get into that finale at all.
I really
Like
can't either. It looked
Loomis
good.
goes in there. Loomis goes in there, and there's nobody there. He's like, come with me, Lori, and she's just like, I can't. He's holding me down. Sorry, I was just plugging my computer in, and she's like, I can't. He's holding me down, and Loomis is like, bitch, you're fucking crazy. Ain't nobody fucking holding you down. Like, what are you talking about? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is a fucking mess, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Halloween 5 ship, the whole psychic connection ship. I'm like, this is dumb, man. Stop putting out Halloween movies. And they make Michael Myers like Jason. He has a mom thing going on. It's like, dude, this is not how you do it. It really is not
Yeah,
how you
it's
do
a
it.
mess. He tried to make it his own. I respect the attempt, but it fucking failed miserably. It's not a good movie.
Mm-mm.
Not my cup of tea, and definitely a low point in the franchise. Where I'll be honest, like after I saw this movie, I said to myself, and this is before any word of the 2018 movie. This is back when I saw it. Um, I said that there's not much else you can do with the Michael Myers character if this is what they attempted to do.
Yeah. If they're
And
throwing
like,
this much out the window, it's
yeah,
done. It's over. There's no more. No
it's
fuck.
over. Every fucking dog has its day. And this was the day. This was it. It should have been. It was a good run. We had 10 fucking films. We made a $300,000 independent film into a 10 film masterpiece franchise. We got 4 classics. We've got 2 decent enough movies. And then we have movies that, at least the fans, I would say the fans probably like about half of them, the first 10 at
Yeah.
least. Um, but man, I don't know. I feel like this really should have been the end almost. Like, I almost don't think this last movie was even necessary. We'll get there. But yeah, I'm personally, I think this should have been the end of Michael Myers
You don't need.
forever.
I still stand by that. You don't need any more movies. You really don't. It's
Yeah,
just it's over.
100% agree with you, man. If I had to rate this one, I again would probably come in around a 3.5. I'll go 3.5 out of 10. I like the PTSD stuff. I like the Daniel Harris kill. I like Michael's brutality, and just about everything else I don't enjoy. I appreciate the attempt. I appreciate it, but at the end of the day, not my cup of tea, man.
Yeah, I'd give it about a 3 as well, maybe even a 2. It's just really not a big fan of it at all. I appreciate the different stuff. I know it gets a lot of fans because of how different it is, but just a movie I can't get into. So just
Yeah, I would say that this one also, it's the one I go back to. This one and the next one, I go back to the least. I have not had the desire to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 since the first time I saw it. I watched it a couple days ago, and I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. Like, I only watched it just because I knew we were talking about it on here. And Ryan was like, "Oh, I got them all memorized," and I was like, "That one is, I don't know how anybody could memorize that fucking movie." But that brings us to possibly the most controversial for me because, uh, and I know you are definitely more along my opinion of it. It is David Gordon Green's Halloween 2018. Yes, this movie when it came out got really really positive reviews. Everyone was loving to love it. I'll be honest, I saw it on opening night and was very very disappointed with it. Um, I am going to blow a lot of people's minds. I initially saw it, I give it about a 5. I think I'm going to lower the score. Like, I don't even think it's a 5 anymore. Like, I think it's a fucking, I don't know. I am not a fan of this movie. I can get into my thoughts, but dude, what are yours? I want to hear the Horror Boys' opinions on Halloween 2018.
well, I did an old video on it back when I first seen it, and I was kind of saying how it was an okay movie.
That was a
But
great video, by the way. I watched that. It was like an hour long.
yeah. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate. Sorry for making you sit through the hour.
No, it was no. I enjoyed it because like you went through the entire series. You were like, this is better than Halloween 4? You were like, fuck no. I was like, yes. I was like,
Yeah,
somebody gets it.
yeah.
It was a great hour. Do not be mistaken. I actually fucking remember where I was too. I was playing fucking Madden and I listened to you while I was playing Madden for like an hour. And I was just like, thank God for Nate. Like someone who
Thank
agrees with me.
Thanks for watching, man. Yeah,
Anytime.
I'm gonna revisit the movie. Obviously, I've rewatched it, and I'll redo the review probably later on, maybe tomorrow, or whatever. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the movie is an okay slasher film at best. Um, and really, the thing that irritates me the most, and it's not like this is a very common thing with me, except for with H2O, and it's really just the way that it was recepted and how it made all this money. I mean, the biggest opening of October, I think. I don't know. In horror, yes, but I think Joker just beat that. But in horror, it's the biggest opening. It beat it. It beat a lot of other stuff that came out in October, including the original Halloween. And I just don't think the movie deserves that. I don't think it deserves to be called one of the best ones in the series. And people saying how, oh, well, now, Halloween 2 and 3 and 4 are garbage. We're going to push them to the side. This is the real Halloween 2. I'm like, there's just no way I can say that. To me, Halloween 2 and 4, even 6, I can take and be like, these are still good movies. At least to the 2 and 4 are amazing to me. Six I think is a decent film, but it's just a movie that I thought it wasn't really filmed like a Halloween movie. It was more of just a let's take Halloween 2 and dumb it down a little bit. It's more like a Halloween 2 watered down. And then people were saying, well, and it's just honest questions, man. Like, I don't understand when people say it's better than the first Halloween when it rips off most of the first Halloween and it rips off the sequels. And it's just like, to me, you're just gonna toss to the side the brother sister stuff just to disrespect it. Be like, yeah, well, fuck that storyline. We're gonna be doing the real version. And it's like,
Yeah, they pretty much. That's a big problem I have. I don't mean to interrupt. I feel like this movie is a middle finger to Halloween 2 in a lot of ways, and
it
that fucking bothers
is.
me. I can't lie. I can't lie. It is. But continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, man. It's well said, man. I mean, it really is. It's just this utter spit in the face of the sequels because, oh, the sequels are garbage except for our sequel. And it's just like, I fucking hate that mentality of the movie. And I hate how it's now trying to make slowly but surely, let's cover up the originals and make this the true trilogy. Like, even though it's not a trilogy because people are saying it's a trilogy now, I'm like, no, 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 it's a sequel to part one, so it's four movies technically. But I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it to where let's gloss over the originals, so this is the real ending. It's like, dude, no, it's just fucking studios, greedy ass fucking studios. I just don't like it. I fucking hate it when they do that shit. But it's acting wise, character wise, atmosphere wise, kills, which were some decent kills in there, but the handling of Michael Myers saying he's a human. Yeah, he's a 60-year-old man, chokes so many people through tables, getting hit by cars, shot 8 times in the movie.
He's 60.
He's 60 fucking years old, mate. Taking him through tables, mate. Like, it's nothing. It really is like if you're saying he's a human, it's impossible to me. It's impossible. And why are you saying he's a human? He ain't a human in the first movie. Even Donald Pleasant said we're not doing the man. This is evil on 2 legs. It's not a man. It's not a human. So I don't get that.
Devil's eyes. He's an entity of evil.
Yeah, and they dark out his eyes in this movie, which I
Yeah,
thought was hilarious.
he's got a
I'm
dark
like,
eye.
just because he has dark eyes doesn't mean you dark out his eyes. That's just something that's stupid to me. But yeah, man, it's just like Michael Myers' movie is ripping jaws out of people's faces apart, fucking deforming people and maiming them. It's just like, that's not. I don't see Michael Myers being like that, except for in the Rob Zombie movies. He doesn't do that in the original movie. He's not ripping people's, teeth out and dropping them in the bathroom. It's just that kind of stuff. I just thought was not what Michael Myers would do. I mean, maybe he would do it for the showmanship part, but just like I like some of the ideas, like carving the jack-o'-lantern in the head and the curb stomp that splashed the guy's skull in. But yeah, and also Lori. Lori, I like better than H2O. I like that PTSD.
100%. That's the fucking problem with this movie. Lori is better in H2O than she is in
Yeah,
this
and
movie.
she's no longer the sister. So, John, you have a good point in saying this. Why? What is the point of Michael Myers going after her if she's just some random chick now? It doesn't make logical sense to do that.
It's stupid. And like people are like, oh, she's the one that got away. And I'm like, well, that's a motive if she's the one that got away. And in the Halloween diehards, they don't want a motive. So I would have been fine with this if it's, different day, different girl, different protagonist that he's after. Why are you chasing Laurie Strode? I just don't. I would have much rather seen just a new final girl.
Yeah.
This is the babysitter he's trying to kill 40 years later. He's still the shape. He's still this entity of evil. But bringing Jamie Lee back, you had to make it more about Jamie Lee because it's Jamie Lee's PTSD. It's the Jamie Lee's drinking and fucking she comes into the fucking restaurant. She's hammered and oh, that's our wacky grandma. And I'm just like,
She
that's
gets one
Laurie
drink of
Strode?
wine.
Like Laurie Strode's taking bribes from podcasters? That's Laurie Strode, that's the great final girl?
Yeah.
Really? I'll take her in H2O 100 times over this movie. I will.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like I personally, there's a few things that bug me about this movie that and upon rewatching it, they bugged me even more because I knew they were coming, I guess.
Mm.
The off-screen kills in this movie bug me more than the off-screen kills in any movie. Like it's horrible. It's I can't even explain how fucking horrible. Like the one girl, the scene that pissed me off the most is the babysitter that's tucking in the kid, that comic relief little kid that's in this movie. And he goes, "Oh, the boogeyman's in the closet," right? She opens the closet. Michael's there, stabs her once in the arm, and she's like trying to get away. The kid runs out and goes, "Oh shit," which ruined the fucking scene for me because it made it okay. Now this kid's got to fucking do this. She's crawling away, and they cut the scene to her boyfriend in the garage fucking around with a motorcycle. He hears the commotion. "I'm coming, baby." He fucking runs up the stairs, and they cut it again. And the
Mm,
next thing you know, they cut back and they're both dead. And I remember being like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, unexcusable. I think that's in and unexcusable because that's just bad. Like, show me that fucking kill. Like, what the hell? And people are like, "Oh, it's scarier when you fill in the blanks with your own mind." I'm just like, dude, this is not the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then a lot of people will come back like, "Oh, how many off-screen kills were in the first one? Do you know that answer?" I'm like, yeah, the answer is one. The one guy he kills to get the jumpsuit. The guy
yeah,
kills.
exactly.
That's the only one in the original movie. And then they're just like, "Oh, it's not about the kills." And I'm just like, how many excuses are you gonna fucking make? Like,
Yeah.
the kills are off screen in this movie. It is a negative for me. If you like off screen kills, I guess it's a positive. I don't know, just not my cup of tea. Um, I think the characters in this movie are piss fucking poor. I think it's all about all the males in this movie, other than the sheriff, are all stupid and usually creeps to the point where I'm just like, is
Mm,
every man a creep, dude? Like, the message seems uber feminism, Me Too
yeah.
stuff, which I get it. That's what Hollywood's into right now. It's fine. Um, the Judy Greer character I think is terrible, and we're supposed to feel sympathetic for her because Laurie's been training her all her life, and I'm just like, I felt bad for her. I felt bad for Josh Hartnett. I felt bad for him who was trying to move on with his life and trying to have a girlfriend and trying to just go on a fucking field trip, but Laurie was too, you know, protective. That was a character I felt bad for. Um, Also, I think you could have brought back Danielle Harris. You could have brought back Ellie Cornell in those roles. If you had to do those roles, I would have brought them back, give them a payday, and have those three, the OG three, facing the shade. That would have been my version of this movie. If I had to do this movie, it would have been Danielle, Ellie, and Jamie Lee fighting
Mm,
Michael Myers in a badass brawl. And maybe, just maybe, he kills one or two of them. And then you have a final battle between either JLC or fucking Danielle Harris going one on one with Michael. And then once and for all, just end it. It was really marketed as the end. That's another thing
yeah.
where, and now they're going with a trilogy. And now they're bringing everybody back. Now, oh, let's bring Charles Cypress back. Oh, let's bring, Tommy Wallace back. Let's bring everybody back so we get the nostalgic fans' money again. It's just, I'm
Yeah.
not with it. I'm not with the new direction. I think it's lame. I think it's
Yeah.
fucking it. Listen, I'm not bashing for being a cash grab because five is a cash grab, Resurrection's a cash grab, but at the same time, do fans like those movies? Nope.
No,
Cash grabs in this series usually do not fucking work.
they
Um,
fail.
they usually do. I think, does this movie have some positives? Sure. I think James Jude Courtney's good as Michael. I think the atmosphere is better than it's been in any of the previous films from six to this. I think this one has a good atmosphere. Um, but overall, just not a fan of this movie. Did not like it the night I saw it. Thought it was very average, and upon rewatching it, I disliked it even more. I found more shit in it that bothered me. Um, Not a fan, man. Just not a fan. What do you think of the final act? This is something I've always wanted to ask you about this.
It's overrated to me. It's nothing. I don't feel any energy, any the third act in H2O, I hate to admit it, is better than the third act in this movie. People say it's the best part of this movie is third act. I'm like, I don't get it. It's just dead air to me. There's no suspense. There's maybe one decent thing I like, and it's when when Laurie goes into this room of mannequins, and you think Michael Myers is gonna pop out, and he doesn't, and it's waiting and waiting and waiting. Then he does pop out. Then she flies over the balcony, and he looks down, and she's gone. the one decent moment. Everything else is just dead air to me. You don't care. I didn't care. There's just nothing to go for. And it's a stupid idea of, oh, let's trap Michael Myers down there and put some bars over. Yeah, like he can't just take the bars. I guarantee you they're going to do something. Michael Myers just takes the bars and bends it and gets out. Like, you got to think about this stuff before you do it. And it's just like, yeah, the third act is just, it's overrated.
Let me ask you this. Did you like the whole trope where I feel like the point of that final act is to show that the prey is now the predator and the predator is now the prey. Like instead of Michael being gone after he falls off the balcony, Laurie is. And instead of
Yeah.
Michael emerging from the shadows, Laurie emerges from the shadows with half of her face. Like it's completely a 360 now. This what I think the movie was going for, that she is ahead of him now. Like she has learned 40 years later, she is one step ahead of him. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, is it well done in this movie? I think so. I got the point. I think it was fine. It was well done. I just don't know if I like the point they were trying to make, if that makes any sense. Like I just didn't care. I like
Me neither.
that's not the way protagonists and antagonists have ever been told in horror. It's always the final girl has to overcome the big bad wolf
Yeah,
that is after
and it's
her.
natural. This movie just feels like, oh, there it is. She's just there. There you go. It's like H2O. It felt natural, grabbing the axe, running at first, but then getting the energy to go back in there. It's like it felt more authentic to me in that movie, that third act. Here, it's like, yeah, I like that ending. I like the idea of it. I like the approach to the idea, like you said, making the predator the prey. I like it. I just didn't care about it. I just didn't care about anything that was going on. And
Me too.
it's a movie that you just in the theater while watching it, I was expecting to go, yeah, oh my god, yeah. It wasn't really like that. It was a lot of just sitting there going, oh, he got peanut butter on his penis.
Yeah, this movie's very poorly written. Uh,
And edited too. It just edited weirdly. It looks weird. It's a movie that doesn't know its tone. It's trying to have comedy, then it's trying to be serious, then it's trying to have gore, then not have gore, then have suspense, then not have suspense. It's just too over. It's all over the place for me. It's all over the
It
place.
is. It really is, because it's like, okay, the scene where the coolest to me, the best kill in this movie, the kill that is most memorable in this movie, is the light sensor kill, where that guy is walking Andy Matichak home,
Mm.
and he gets stuck in this fence where all these light sensors are on, and Michael slowly but surely gets him and kills him. Right. That was awesome. But the lead up to that scene, like before that, I didn't like, where he tries to fucking be creepy and rape Annie Matt. It's like, why does that have to be in this, dude? Like, what? And like, they totally forget about the boyfriend character. He's never in it again after cheating on her. I'm just like, okay, that's is what it is. And like, I don't know, man. I just the whole thing with the doctor, lame, just
That's
fucking
stupid. I
lame.
was literally sitting in the theater. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then they kill him, and I'm like, "Oh, thank God," because I was thinking, "Oh, yeah, Halloween kills. It doesn't matter who Michael Myers is. It's the mask, and he probably wears the mask as the killer." I'm like, "This is horrible, man."
Yeah,
And
people defend it. I just don't get that. How do you defend that doctor so?
why put it in the movie? It's like it went nowhere at all. It's for 2 seconds, and he's dead. It's like, what the fuck was
It
the
seemed
point?
like it seemed like just a way to get Michael to the house at the end, and I was just like,
There's
what?
a million other ways you could have done it. That's would have been better than that to me. And Michael Myers just walking around, like he gets hit by a car. He's walking around out in the open, no more shadow. He's just walking around and he gets hit by a car. It's like, of course you get noticed. You're in a Michael Myers costume. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. And I did like that one kill that felt like an actual Halloween kill where the lights go off and on. But first of all, I
Me
do
too.
not care about the character. I do not care about the scene, and it's not investing. You got to be investing for it to make an impact. And all these like you said, these guy characters, they're good characters, and then they're bad characters. Like the boyfriend, he's polite to the parents. He's a cool guy. Then, oh, he's an asshole.
Yep.
Then, The guy, he's a funny guy, being a comedic guy, then he's a fucking creep. It's like there's no build up. It's just like, I just don't like that in this movie. Everything is just so snappy. And I think what it was, oh, well, people like Halloween two's blood. People like Halloween two's, but it's like, if you're gonna do a Halloween 2 formula, stick to it, not just, oh, we're gonna show this gory as fuck kill, then make the next kills off screen. It's just overall the movie, just formula and template wise, which is all over the place.
I agree completely. I agree. I understand that people fucking love it. I know there are a lot of people who think this is like the messiah of Halloween movies, and like I don't know, like I respect that. I know my buddy
Me
Ryan, who
too.
I wish he had come on because he definitely would have been the party to defend this movie. Sorry, we weren't as big of fans, but I would love to ask the community, like,
Mm-hmm.
is all this movie had to be for a lot of people better than the Rob Zombie movies? Because that's my big question. Because like I feel like it went to the atmospheric route, and it's nodding to the original again, bringing back things from the original. And this sequel, Halloween Kills, is going to bring back everybody that survived in the original. Like I feel like it's trying to be fan servicey, and it's very much like the Last Jedi. Like it's very much like
Oh yeah,
that, where it's just I feel like it just completely took a step in the wrong direction for me. I'm like, this is just me. I will forever feel that Halloween 2 is an untoppable fucking sequel. I don't think you can top
I
that
agree.
sequel. Halloween 4 is an untoppable sequel. I think it's a phenomenal fucking film.
I
Uh,
agree.
this movie, H2O, I don't think either one of those movies is even close to the level of those other two, because those other two, at least they had likable characters, they had good kills, they had the atmosphere, all that stuff. And I don't know, I didn't have any problems, whereas this movie, almost every 5 minutes I fucking find a problem in it. And I don't know, like, I'm happy people like it. I do think the hype has died down a little bit, and I think it will continue to die down, just like H2O's. um and a lot of that will be telling of the next movie, the Halloween Kills movie, and then Halloween Ends, which, weird title for the next movie. That's Halloween
Oh,
Kills. It's like a
horrible.
Hellraiser
Horrible.
subtitle, dude. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just was not
Halloween.
a fan. I'm assuming, I pray to God that the next one they correct the shit they got wrong. Like, at least show the fucking kills. Like, that would be a very positive step. But overall, man, I don't know. Not a big fan of Halloween 2018. I'm going to come in lower than I did the first time. I'm going to come in with a 4 out of 10. And my closing statement will be for this movie: it is not rewatchable. Like, I rewatched it for the sake of this, and like, I don't know. I have no interest to ever really watch it again. I think it has tremendous problems, and it's boring overall.
Yeah. First of all, if you're a fan of this movie out there, people watching, if you're a fan of it, that's totally fine. I respect that. I really
100%.
do. Um, I would just say I want you to rewatch it, and I want you to rewatch the first Halloween. And before you start saying it's better than so and so and so and so, I really want you to rewatch it and really watch it closely, and then really really see if it is. I don't know. I respect it, but um, yeah, I'm not a really big fan of this one. To me, at best, it's a dumb slasher, fun dumb slasher. Um, but as a Halloween movie, I think it's a very weak entry. I would give it probably a 5. Don't utterly hate it, but it's just not the direction I was really wanting the series to go if they were to pick up the series again. And yeah, the great thing about sequels is you can always have room for improvement. Look at T2, look at Aliens. We got these great sequels that I'm pretty sure nobody wanted. Oh, Terminator 2, Aliens, really? Alien was a great movie. And, thus they became kind of better than the originals. But we'll see how it goes. I am curious about Halloween Kills. I really am, and like I said, if you're a fan of these movies, that's totally fine. I'm really up for that. It's cool because it's good to have conversation, man. It's always good to have a good, healthy conversation about this stuff.
100%, dude. Like that's the thing. Like a lot of people get angry if I don't agree, or think I'll get angry if I don't agree. Like that's the beauty of fucking, friendly talking about stuff. Like if you and I disagree on a film, like I don't bash you and you don't bash me. Like I don't like Jason Goes to Hell, but I've never bashed you for it or called you out on it or said, "Oh, you just don't get it." That's just lame. Like what kind of a
Yeah,
fan does that, man? Like you like the film. That's awesome. Like you and I like films that a lot of people hate. Like we fucking like Friday 5 a lot, Like and that movie gets shit on every time you bring up Friday the 13th. That movie's brought up and just shit upon. So I don't know. I've been on both sides of the coin. I feel like either way, I like to hear people I respect's opinion. And overall, I just think it's just like it's nice to talk it out. Like I would love to hear. I wish Ryan was. I actually really wish Ryan was on just for this one in particular because I know he fucking loved it. He thought it was like great, great movie. Um, that would have been a friendly. That would have been a crazy debate, man. We probably would have been on here for like an extra hour just talking about this one. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of
it would have been
Halloween.
fun. I would have been interested, and like I said, I really do respect people's opinion on it. I really do. It's a movie that if you love, and also I can respect it because it shows that there is a little bit left in the Halloween series. Like there is people coming and seeing it still, and it still has that fan base.
Oh,
Uh,
always. You'll never kill that.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. I enjoy how they try to put homages to the fans in there. Like, I'm not gonna give the movie crap for everything. I mean, it does have some good stuff in it. Um, but like I said, it's just always good to have a conversation about it, man. If you're a fan of it, it's totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, overall, uh, I would say it's funny because like the first episode, I pretty much put over all those movies. Like I put 1 through 4, I put it over. I even put 5 over. Like I put
Yeah.
it over, even though it's not the greatest. I put 6 over a little bit. I put it 6 out of 10. But after 6, I didn't give one movie over. The only movie I gave over a 5 was the remake. I gave it a 5.5. Like 5.5 or lower. That's pretty sad. Like considering, I don't know. It just after part 6, it's meh to bad to me.
Mm.
Um, Forever, I will love the first 4 the best, and then 5 and 6 I go back and rewatch a lot. But I will say on a positive note, Happy Halloween. It's
Mhm.
12:03 a.m. October 31st. Michael's about to kill people in Haddonfield. He's 66 years old now, killing people, taking names, all that stuff, and is
Took
what it
his
is.
vitamins, said his prayers, and ate his
Yeah,
minerals.
brother,
Now
let
he's
me tell
ready to
you
get out.
something. Let me tell you something, dude. The shape is in Hadfield, bro, and I'm gonna drop a leg on you. It's so funny, man.
Yeah, man. I'm glad it's here, man. I can't wait. Later on in the day, I'm probably going to be watching some more horror and get into more other stuff.
Totally. Yeah, I've got a show coming on later in today, like around 1:45 p.m. Me and Brian are going to do a Halloween show, just talking about movies we've watched, traditions, costumes, candies. I'm going to be reading. I got this right here, actually. I'm going to be reading some scary stories to tell in the dark
Nice.
live on the
Love
air.
it.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be watching this gem when I get home. Trilogy of Terror 2. I pre-ordered this on Blu-ray in like August. I literally cannot wait to watch that one. That's gonna be my big Halloween night movie. And then who knows? Maybe I'll pick one from there. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 movies. Um, but yeah, it's been a fun season. I got to say, I've been watching a
Yeah,
lot of stuff, and you and I have been talking like daily about stuff we've been watching and stuff like that. So it's been a fun season for sure.
yeah. Luckily it's been like a lot more of a neutral speed season than most because most Halloween seasons go by in a flash. But this one's kind of been cruise control, taking its time. Been watching some horror movies. It's really been like a really great paced October.
Yeah, I agree. I've watched stupid amount of movies, man. And it's been a lot of fun. It's always a good time of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for later on, man. Be scaring some people, just having fun, man. It's always great to have some fun on Halloween.
Dude, absolutely, man. Yeah, keep me updated on what you watch or what you do.
Yeah,
I'm planning on getting a lot of White Castle here and eating the shit out of that. I can't wait for that shit, man.
that's great.
That is going to be a fun goddamn time. I'm gonna pig out. watch some horror, and of course do my show earlier in the day. So it's gonna be fun. Everybody
I'll be
watching, check
watching.
that out. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. And
Mhm.
I'll make sure if you comment or anything, I'll have Miranda show me because I can't see the screen when I'm on. But yeah, that's probably gonna be all for tonight. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add, talk about, or whatever.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me on, man. Sorry for getting rageful at certain parts.
Rageful, please. We're about as calm as rageful people get.
So the rage, Michael goes up the rage. But
She can stop the rage, Michael.
HO didn't, you know.
I'll make sure all the cops go help the stuttering kid so you can come.
Have they even pulled it off? I would have figured they'd be like, nah, we're not gonna leave the freaking Danielle Harris here. What are you talking about, Loomis? Get
That's
out of
really
here.
so funny. This time they're ready. No, they weren't. They fucking left.
Bullshit. Michael's
Yeah,
unmasked.
yeah.
Yeah, bullshit.
Michael, they got a SWAT team ready, and then they're just like, "All right, fuck it, we're gonna leave." And I was just like, I remember as a kid going, like, they all left. Like they left this one fat
Yeah.
cop in there. What?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was like,
Bizarre.
that's so unrealistic.
Yeah, but entertaining nonetheless, right?
Right, right. It made it fun, man. It made it fun. See Michael Myers cry, man. It's love that moment, man. It's true.
It was very touching.
There's a great Oscar-worthy moment
It
right there.
makes me cry every time.
It should be in his film reel, whatever reel they have at the Oscars.
Don
Nominee. Oh my.
Shanks,
Yeah,
Academy Award winner
he's
for The
crying.
Revenge of Michael Myers.
He cried. Give him an Oscar.
Dude, he cried, dude. He looks just like Danielle Harris, apparently. She's like, "You look just like me." I'm just like, "What?"
No, no, he doesn't. He said, "Silly girl, silly girl."
He's your uncle, not your daddy. Like, what are you talking about? I don't
So
know.
Anthony Gerard's like, "Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He looks just like her."
Dominic Thin and Gerard's just like, "Oh, I'm." How, you know what I would love to know? How the fuck did he get that job? Like,
I
how?
don't know. Like,
How?
Halloween and Dominic Arthur and Gerard do not go together, and they don't fit. It's like, there's why.
He never made anything before that was any good. So like I don't understand. Like someone had to have seen something that he did and was like, "This is the guy." My question is, what the fuck was it? Like
I don't know, but it was a wrong call. Bad call with that.
horrible call.
He
It
told him
literally
that.
might have been a series crippling call because
Yeah.
a lot of people like post that movie, you know, they give up. Like they think Halloween 5 is the beginning of the end. And it really is probably, but you know.
When he's telling people to move like wood through water, like that's just a big problem, man. He told Don Shanks, "I want you to move like wood through water." It's like, man, what kind of a direction? But yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, man, just thanks for having me on, man. It's been fun. It's been a blast. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll be having the show tomorrow. I can't wait. Gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going out with the biggest of bangs, a live stream, an hour and a half live stream. My boy, the horror boy, the legendary, one of the best people I know on YouTube. One of the coolest people you know. Check out his channel. He's still doing the Halloween reviews. And thank you to anybody that watched. Thank you to anybody that will watch. Give me the like if you can. Give Nate the sub. Give me the sub. Give us subs. Nate needs like a few more subs for 300.
Yeah,
So let's get Nate to 300, dude.
can't wait.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Nate. Thank you all for watching. Peace out, everybody.
Halloween. Everybody's entitled for one good.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. All right.